3 asked us to do a video really saying something. I think it was the one they did with Bananarama, because they had seen some of the Ultravox videos and wanted us to have a crack at it. And it was good fun. The funny thing is actually trying to put their personalities into a bit of film. It's easy with Bananarama because they're meant to be sort of fun-loving, sort of giggly girls and things. It's all very light and fluffy. But it was difficult with Fun Boy 3 because Terry was always, he's so quiet and shy and sort of, you know, don't talk to me too loudly because, you know, I might just crack up. And it's difficult because you know what they wanted to put across, but he's a very sort of quiet person. He's the exact opposite of what you think Fun Boy 3 were trying to portray. So trying to come up with ideas that would involve the whole band and try and get something light and fluffy and that was fun and interesting to watch was good for us to do, because up until then we'd always done these really sort of pole-faced, serious, you know, melodramas, you know, and it was good to do something that was light and interesting.
It really looked like fun, didn't it? I mean, it wasn't too polished or anything, which was
Not
great.
at all. It was very scrappy, in fact. I mean, it was good, but I mean, it actually did capture a bit of an atmosphere. It was
Into looking at all the Ultravox and midge videos, and there are quite a lot of them in the Music Box archives, came upon this strange little item that you did with Mick Kahn.
Oh, yeah.
After a fashion.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Lawrence of Chiswick. Yeah, we decided, we thought it would be great. We did a single together after a fashion, and we thought it would be great if we could possibly wangle somehow to get out to Egypt and do a bit of filming in Egypt. And that's exactly what we did. We managed to get in touch with the Egyptian tourist board, and they got us cheap flights and cheap hotels, and they took us around all the place. So we did it on a shoestring budget, but it's a bit of a sort of grandiose epic in a way. You know, it's very odd, isn't it? Two boys in the middle of the desert cover themselves in water.
Not really up to your usual standards. So
I enjoyed it. I thought it was quite fun. It was very there was no storyline to it at all. It was just it was a series of images that just looked quite nice, and it got us out to Egypt for a while. I don't think anybody ever saw it.
Don't speak to me of changing scenes or what you saw in magazines. I've watched you change and follow every move. A dancing clown with his eyes turns you around. To spend a lifetime keeping hold on slipping years and not get old. You hear the cry but can't be told. You're only chasing after a fashion. After a fashion. After a fashion. Hey, oh, you wear it well. And if you felt the sympathy, and if you saw what others see through different eyes, you might see something true. After a fashion. After a fashion. After a fashion. Hey, oh, we wear it well. After a fashion. After a fashion. Hey, oh.
Now, we have to talk, of course, about Band-Aid and all that stuff. Can you remember, I mean, the very germ of the idea? I mean, the very first moment when... I don't know, did Bob Geldof come to you with a fait accompli almost? Or?
No, Bob phoned me up. I was up doing a rival programme, The Tube, and he was talking to Paula, his girlfriend up there, about losing the house keys or something ludicrous. And she happened to mention was on the show, so I went on the phone and he chatted away and he said he'd just seen the documentary, and I'd just seen the documentary, the first one that was shown, and he said he wanted to do something about it, and he had spoken to Gary Kemp who said he would do whatever was necessary, and he'd spoke to Sting, who said he would do whatever's necessary. But he asked me if I would help him if he wanted to write a song or something. You know, could we write a song together? Could I help him in any way at all? And I said yeah. So after a couple of days, we got together, and he had a sort of an outline of a song on acoustic guitar, which sounded like, you know, Horse with No Name or something. It sounded like this old hippie thing. And I had written a piece of music that I thought would suit, being a Christmassy thing, which to him sounded like Dam Busters or Z Cars or something. And we managed to merge these two ideas together from sort of opposite ends of the musical spectrum. We managed to merge these two ideas and write some bits in the middle and alter bits and pieces. And then I set about recording the track in my studio, while Bob sat on my phone most of the time and phoned up, you know, artists all over the world saying, you know, you've got to come here and help us record this thing. So that's exactly how it started. The unfortunate thing is, it's probably the song that I'll be remembered for when I die, and it's not the best thing I've ever written, I must confess. It was written, it's very difficult to write something about a specific subject like that, very dodgy subject, and not make it sound crass and commercial. But it's got to sound commercial in a certain way that it's going to appeal to a mass of people, not a certain type of person or a certain area, but everyone. Appeal from like 5-year-olds to 95-year-olds, because that's what we had to get in order to make the whole thing work. The object was, don't make a brilliant record, touch people, get their money. That was the main thing, and that's exactly what we set out to do. Now, of course, yeah, when you do hear the record, you get very nostalgic about the whole thing, and you do get a lump in the throat. So it's achieved what it was supposed to achieve.
Are people different towards you now? I mean, do they think that you're this charity working, almost like a lady prison visitor, something terribly virtuous?
I think so, but I've tried my best to play that down. I mean, I'm no do-gooder, and I'm the first person to admit it. I think if Geldof hadn't phoned me that day, I wouldn't have been actively involved. I mean, I wouldn't have thought of becoming actively involved instantly. So in that sense, I suppose I'm not a do-gooder. I'm not the sort of charitable person that everyone might think I am. And I don't particularly want to be. You know, I'll get involved in things that I feel passionate about, and I'm obviously passionate about what I'm involved in because I'm still involved in it. You know, a year and a half after the event. But yes, I do get an awful lot of queries now and begging letters and all sorts to do this and open this gala and come here and come. You know, I could spend the rest of my life just appearing at charity things and helping fundraise, and that's not what I was put on this earth for, I don't think.